Board meeting for Thursday, January 6th, 2022 at 5 p.m. to order, please. Can we get a roll call starting from my left?
Weisinger here.
Minter here.
Hasdell here,
Goldman here.
and Mr. Barhart is on vacation. Number 3, certify the posting of the meeting, please.
I certified that on Monday, January 3rd, 2022, the agenda for the Town of Rome Board meeting for Thursday, January 6th, 2022 was emailed to the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune at 4:41 p.m., posted at Rome Town Hall at 4:37 p.m., at Leicester Public Library of Rome at 4:49 p.m., and at Nakusa Port Edward State Bank at 4:54 p.m.
Thank you. Number 4, can we get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Number 5, pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 6, citizen comments. None? We'll dispense with number 6. No action contemplated except possible referral to future agenda. Jerry, would you like to start?
I have nothing.
Dan?
Nothing.
Dan?
None.
Yeah, I do. First of all, Jamie, can you give us a real quick update? We have Lifestar started in service on January 1st. You did post it out there, and I think you got quite a few positive comments on it right off the bat. Got an update?
So, from both Lifestar and from our staff here, the transition has been, their words, flawless. So they have had a series of calls in all 3 of the municipalities since they've been here. They've been enjoying the building and getting settled in, but at this point, it has been operating really well. So we will have a follow-up with Lifestar and the EMS Board of Commissioners at the end of January. That's also when they'll be meeting with the Adams County Ambulance Group about doing a mutual aid agreement, an internal mutual aid agreement with them.
Good. Good to hear. Another thing, and I didn't get a chance to mention this on the last one, but the last time I was at the transfer site before the snow, I wanted to say that the guys have done a great job out there, guys and girls, gals, whatever. It's been very clean. Apache Road's been very clean. They were out there cleaning when I was there, and I think they've done a great job since they switched over to the new containers, and just want to give those folks some a thank you from me and hopefully from the board and the rest of the crew that's been taking care of it. Just recognition is deserved.
Thank you.
Question on transfer site related.
Go ahead.
When are folks supposed to get their new stickers?
So if you came in and paid your taxes in person, we were giving new stickers, and they've been handing them out at the transfer site. So they have them out there if you need to update your sticker, or if you came into town hall, as long as you have the tag that goes on the rearview mirror, we can provide you the sticker.
They're handing them out Wednesday when I was there. I got mine.
Okay. In between the CDA meeting and this meeting, I was at home and I happened to catch our December 2nd meeting on the Wood County phone, station number 3, I guess, and they were talking about our snow plowing situation. Back then, we had some discussion on when the road's going to be completed, the 3-inch thing with the 3-inch being the emergency rules and whatnot. And I didn't quite hear it there, and I guess I didn't hear either that. Did I actually hear that they weren't going to plow all the roads all the time?
We don't plow every road every time, no. We do it depending on the storm. So on this past storm, yesterday morning, which would have been Wednesday morning, the snow wasn't complete, it was still snowing. We did major roads, major intersections, and then through the day, we monitored major roads and intersections. Then starting 4 a.m. this morning, the whole town was completed after the entire snowstorm was completed.
All right, what I got out of the message, it was difficult listening, hearing it, but it was that we would do the roads, but maybe not the cul-de-sacs. I thought, okay, that kind of makes sense, but there's a lot of roads that didn't get covered yesterday at all, and we did have how many inches did we get?
I don't know what we got total. I mean, it came over a series of hours.
3 to 5, somewhere in that range?
Luckily, we got 3 at the moment.
I got more than 3 by me, but we know it's not the same everywhere, but How many trucks did we have out yesterday?
I would have to ask, Brad to confirm. I know that we had, because sometimes there's vacation or we rely on a lot of part-time help for snow plowing. Not all the time can every part-time driver make it in. So I know that we were 3 drivers down this morning, but then again, Brad's got a CDL, he'll jump in a truck. So
Are we-
I don't know the exact number of trucks that were out this morning.
All right, I'd like to know, let me know, I'd like to know how many trucks we have, how many were out, how many personnel we had, and how many personnel do we have in the traffic department? How many drivers do we have available on a regular basis?
Well, we have 3 full-time staff, all with CDLs, and then we have a series of part-time staff, and that flexes based on season and availability.
I believe we have 8 trucks
8 trucks?
Yeah, I don't know that all 8
What?
were out.
with a loader,
Yeah, what,
including the loader.
Our newest vehicle does not require a CDL.
Right.
That was one of the major reasons for purchasing it, for plowing. It doesn't require a CDL in order to operate.
I was out and about early yesterday morning before pretty much anything was plowed. I had an appointment in town at 7. But the roads were pretty bad at that point already. And I just really surprised. I didn't find out till late last night that we hadn't plowed all the roads. And then I find out, I know of at least 5 roads, and I'm not talking cul-de-sacs, 5 roads that weren't plowed at all until today. Yes, they got out today, but, I mean, can we do a better job on that? I mean, am I alone on this, or? I think we had enough snow to have a full plow done, in my opinion, yesterday.
It's a delicate balance on
Yep.
overplowing and underplowing. I guess personally, off of Woodbridge, it wasn't done until 6 a.m. this morning, and we got more than 3 inches over there. I don't know if it was the blowing or what, but I was kind of surprised that it took so long to get a truck through there, so. I think if Brad has something that's written, and I know it's hard to do that, but there should be some base guideline that we can issue so people know, and maybe we can use communication methods to tell people in real time. I don't
Communication?
mean
Yeah.
to over-labor it for anybody, but hey, if we're in the middle of a big storm and it's spanning a day or two, at least say, hey, here's what we're doing, folks, so they understand.
Communication, e-alert, something along that line. The other thing, I'll come back in a second, but Apache, I saw some notes on Apache being icy the other day. Did we rectify that in any way, or just?
I would have to follow up with Brad.
All right,
So I can tell you that from a town perspective, we often would get calls if there was icy patches or if there were concerns. We only had 2 calls with this past snowstorm, and one was just the gentleman saying, you know, I just wanted to know when you'll be coming through, and I said they should be there shortly, and they were there within an hour of him after him calling, so.
okay, I was talking to some professionals too, outside the state, about icy roads, and there's a difference. If you got a cul-de-sac that's icy, you're probably not gonna do much. You can't salt all the roads, we know that's just physically impossible. However, what they call high-speed roads, anything above 25, 30 miles an hour, should be salted on, you know, if they have ice conditions. But it was the understanding, I saw it in the next door, there was quite a few people actually complaining about the ice on Apache. I don't know if it was on all the roads, but it definitely was on Apache. I didn't go down it myself, but I don't know. Jason, had you heard anything about it? No?
I think it might have been early, yesterday, icy, but right afternoon.
I think
was driving on it.
this was a couple days ago. This had nothing to do with the snowstorm. This was ice.
Yeah, last weekend or so,
Yeah.
there was quite a bit of ice towards the end of Apache on East.
Right. I think we ought to at least address it and use the e-alerts if necessary, and like Dan said, let folks know what we're doing. But I think also, if 3 to 5 inches, I think all the plows should have been out as best we could. But let me know how many trucks we have, how many we had out, and how many personnel we had available, and how many more, so. All right, I'm done there. Anything else? Anybody else have anything for number 7?
I would just mention tomorrow,
Oh, yes,
11:30
go ahead.
to 1, we have a retirement party for Greg Bronick and for Officer Mark Stashik. So all are welcome that would like to come and send them off with well wishes
What time?
between 11:30 and 1
Okay.
in the community room.
Thank you. Discuss and possible action on the following items. Number 8, discussion and action approval of the December 16th, 2021 minutes.
Make a motion to approve as printed.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Dates and items, wait a minute.
I got put in the wrong place.
Yes, it did. Number 9, Discussion and possible action, approval of resolution number 22, sale of town-owned property in the town of Rome as recommended by the Community Development Authority to Quick Trip, Inc., to purchase an approximately 1.995 acre parcel in the Commercial A subdistrict of Rome Town Center for a purchase price of $20,000. A portion of parcel number 030-01136-0575.
Motion to approve the sale as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried.
Thank you, Dex.
Is that, can you tell me, is that where the diesel's going or what?
So the hope is to have.
Come on up to the mic, Dex, just so.
Sure.
Turn it around your way.
So the hope is this will be phase 2, to have a second canopy that will offer diesel fuel and rec fuel, non-ethanol fuel on the south side of the store, and then have a continuous drive that'll get us out to the other road to allow for traffic to come out on that intersection, and then add parking, large vehicle trailer parking, not necessarily overnight truck, semi-traffic parking, but somebody's got a motor home, somebody's pulling a boat, you can get out of there, walk over to the store and work, buy what's needed for the weekend. We are trying to hopefully get somebody to come and lease the north side of the store. That'll be great for the community as well, and having that extra parking on that 2 acres I think will be key for the player that's in that north side as well. So it's just gonna make it more friendly and easier to get around. The canopy's gonna change. You're gonna have dive-in parking there, so you'll have 20 fueling locations underneath the front canopy, and then you'll have that second canopy. So just the movement's gonna be a lot more fluid and easier to get through there, and hopefully get the trailer traffic away from the normal traffic. That's the goal. Great.
So this is a good segue, just to mention a couple things that are within the developers agreement, since we're talking about that additional acreage. One is that we did have some discussion about semi-traffic and overnight semi-traffic. That's not something of interest, and Quick Trip understands that, knows that, with adding this additional canopy and that traffic behind the store. In addition to that, item number 6 in your developers agreement is that if the road would need to be replaced, where that driveway will exit onto Geneva and to Alpine due to that additional traffic or truck traffic, with a PACER rating as the consideration, which is what we use now for evaluation of the roads, that would be a Quick Trip's cost.
Yep, and that's what we do. If we don't want potholes, we don't want divots. We want people to feel comfortable coming into the store. So, if Jamie calls and says, "Hey, we've got to get this thing going," we'll send somebody out to assess it, and we'll start working on it, right away. We retain contracts with the Matthews of the worlds, or the Blacktop folks of the worlds. If that's what we got to do right away, they'll get out here and maintain it within so many hours for us. So.
You still looking at a May 26th opening?
No. We're gonna be open hopefully the week before Memorial Day. That's the schedule that's out in front of us today.
Alright.
Is, I believe, turning the keys over to retail on the 13th, at the very latest. So I
Wow.
know they've been over there working now, and we're trying to get ahead of that schedule. So,
Can't make fish in the opener though, huh?
And then just one general comment, just for items that are on other agendas. This was mentioned as phase 2. I believe on the plan commission's agenda for Tuesday will be the site plan and plan of operation. So anybody that is following this, then watch the plan commission meeting where that'll be considered and discussed.
And that's been in review for 3 to 4 weeks at minimum.
Yeah, I believe we've had a copy of it. This will be the first time that the plan commission has their public hearing and their consideration of it.
It won't include this additional property though, because that wasn't, for this,
Right.
this site plan of operation did not include that additional property.
So we'll go into our due diligence, hopefully be closed in April. I think that's what the offer has. So we'll do our Alta survey,
which is gonna be surveying the ground. We're commissioning the, split of the parcel. So we'll have a CSM that will, create one lot that includes the 4 acres that Pritzels is on today. So we'll include that acreage on top of that, make taxes a lot easier and cleaner to have one parcel. And then, you know, we'll do our environmental testing to make sure we know what the soils are there and what needs to be. We always have to have a base. Anytime there's tanks around, we need to have a base of what those soil samples are and create that. So if there is ever any kind of spillage, we know where we were to start. So we'll start our due diligence with that once with approval here and deposit the earnest money and start that due diligence so we can meet that April date and go into civil design once our survey is completed and ready to go. We'll go into some kind of civil design to get in front of the folks for Plan Commission.
It does not include a car wash.
Not yet.
Not until there's a sewer.
We do not have a sewer system, so it cannot include a car wash.
Yeah, we certainly would love to find a way to be able to do a car wash at some point.
It
and
needs a dog wash.
use the windshield wiper thing. Turn your dog blue, clean them
Tractor
up.
Supply's got one though.
Oh, is it in though?
Most be, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, any other questions? We're super excited to come and, you know, again, apologize that we're closed and I know it's a huge inconvenience, but it was the way that Store Engineering and Retail decided to handle this project so we can just be open and not have a mess and prolong the construction project for more than the 5 months to get it to the way that, you know, the Quick Trip retail team wants it. Oh,
Yep. Thank you.
yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
Number 11. Nope, I'm sorry. Number 10, discussion of possible action, approval of resolution number 22 in observance and celebration of International Migratory Bird Day, May 14th, 2022.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Part
All
of our annual Bird City agreement, we have a resolution.
all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion's carried. Number 11, discussion of possible action, approval of ordinance number 22, amending chapter 281, peace and good order, section 281-1, state statutes adopted.
I can just give a brief overview of this. In your packets, you should have a copy of the proposed added section or added subsection to section 281-1. This relates to the use of aerators and aeration systems on lakes in the town. Recently, we received a number of complaints about failure to follow the legal requirements under statute, specifically section 167-2.26, and that relates to enacting and maintaining barricades and visual warning and safety systems where aeration is taking place on the ice. The proposed amendment to section 281-1 adopts that section 167.26 of state statutes and allows us to issue and prosecute those offenses through municipal court.
Is there a size limitation on the hole? How do you define what's gonna be needed for, cordoning off or not?
So I know that some of these aeration systems aren't just for ice holes, they're also around docks. So I don't know that there's necessarily a size limitation, but there are legal requirements, and I think that the DNR's summary sheet does a decent job with talking about what those requirements are as far as whether it's barricading or providing a visual warning that aeration is taking place and keeping it from them forming, ice forming in that location.
Yeah, there's no prescribed hole size basically that you can create, but obviously it has to be reasonable based on this, but
You gonna have a problem with that, Jason?
This was brought forward by me to help us. We've gotten some complaints of people that put aerators in and didn't fence it at all or put any signs up, so this just allows us, if they don't put the signage up, to issue them a citation
make a motion to approve the amendment to chapter 281.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Number 12, discussion of possible action, approval of side letter agreement between the Town of Rome and Rome Professional Police Association, WPPA/LEER, for shift differential and holiday hours.
The side letter was included in your packet. Chief is also here if you have some additional questions. It just changes that time frame from 5P to 5A and makes then the holiday hours from 5A to 5A for that 24 hours instead of being 11:59 to midnight.
So it's just the hour change.
It's just the hour change.
The rate is still the same,
The
right?
rate is the same.
Motion to approve the side agreement with the union.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Number 13, next agenda items.
So our next agenda would have both the monthly reports and financials, just because we moved that to the next agenda here in January with the holiday and the quickness of the meeting being on the 6th. We will have some plan commission items, and then I just wanted to note that I did invite the area legislators to join us at our next meeting to do a thank you for Lori Pritzels and Pritzels for their years of service to the community. So we'll have a presentation from the two legislators and from obviously the town board at that next meeting.
You gonna invite Lori?
Yes, they will have that.
Never know.
I had one, and maybe it can be deferred to some other future meeting, but, so, earlier this year, we talked about priorities amongst those of us on the town board and what we'd like to see happen in the town. I know there's a 5+ year strategy that's on the town's website. And then we have the CDA and, what's the board I'm on? Planning and zoning. That are working on things that are gonna impact the future development in the town. Should we do some sort of check to make sure that we've got all that in some sort of documented fashion? Just so everybody has something to reference and say, this is the direction we wanna go, this is where we're going.
Yes, so what we did when we did the strategic plan, which might be a good opportunity to, we did one whole day session and one half day session with the department heads and the town board. I think what we might wanna do is get to the meeting where, the joint meeting of looking at the feedback for the comp plan and how that comp plan might be updated or changed and how the math would be updated and changed. And then bring that to, again, probably a day and a half strategic planning session to say, here are all of these pieces, how do we put them together into one package?
Okay.
Because that might update our strategic plan and might update the town board priorities based on those conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that comp plan piece is probably gonna carry on for another month or two, that gathering and getting that scheduled. So I could see us doing, we could call it a retreat, probably mid to late summer.
Good.
Another agenda item, can you discuss a little bit about the water utility and what's happening with the expansion?
We could add that to the next agenda
Yeah.
and then have, so that would, it's a draft report now, it's not a final report, but we could add that to the next agenda to have a larger conversation around that. Utilities won't meet to revisit that report and answer any questions or any additions until after your next town board meeting, because they only meet monthly.
Yeah.
So just know that what we are discussing and what you will be provided is draft.
Yeah, just give the board an update of what's happening there. Anything else? Do you have anything else? Next meeting date and time?
It would be Thursday, January 20th at 5 p.m.
All right, can I get a motion for adjournment?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried.